Alright, welcome back everybody to a new tutorial video for AdventureCraft. Today we are gonna talk about everything that you can do within the map folder. So to start out fresh, let's just create a new map to show you the initial state of a map. Let's call it map tutorial. I just put the A's in front because then I can see it here in my directory on the left side. We can click create and then just save and quit. So if we refresh our directory now, you can see there's our map folder. So yeah, that's the initial state of your map folder. So as you can see, not much going on, just the region file and the data file, which shouldn't be touched unless you know what you do. Level dat, old, and session log. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna create a text document file that we name description. This is our map tutorial video. So we gotta save it, either save under file or Control S for the shortcut. And now when we wanna create a new save, you can see this is our map tutorial video. So before we move on for creating thumbnail and other stuff, we need additional folders and files. And in order to get those, you will want to open two new paths. So the first one being this one right here. And there you can see a client intermediary jar. So let me just put it to the right side here and open that up. And there you can see there's a lot of folders going on. You can take a look in every folder and choose the ones that you need. I'll take a couple of them, just select them via Control key and then drag and drop them into your map folder. Now, the next path we want to open is this path right here. So it's in the mods folder. And when you click on assets or open the assets up, then AdventureCraft, there you can see there's also art, environment, font, GUI, miscellaneous, mob, sound, AC logo, icon, particles, and the other terrains. So you drag that in and then you replace everything that's, I think it's just the terrain that's gonna get replaced. And there you have everything right now that you can grab out of the vanilla Minecraft 1.73 jar file and the AdventureCraft assets. So there will be some additional folders, just like I mentioned in the last video. There are some folders that you can create, but I will get through that. So this is a good start. And what you want to do now is you want to rename the pack.png to thumbnail.png. And you can open it with Paint or any other texture creating or manipulation program that you have. I'll use Sprite in this tutorial. So there you can see that's our thumbnail now. So if I delete that and let's say grab a blue color, fill that in and hit save. Now you can see, when I want to create a new save now, our thumbnail is now set as well. Okay, and you have a lot of files to work with now. You can change the AC logo if you want, so I think that would change just that. Not sure if it's even working, but you have it. Some of those assets you don't need to change, or for example the AC logo and the icon doesn't really need a change, so you can just delete it, what you don't need. The particles is really important, as you can see, when you're underwater or when there's fire particles and stuff like that. I also think you can create like custom particles here as well. And the terrain is basically the blocks. As you can see, terrain 2 has these blocks and terrain 3 has those blocks. So let's just change one right here really quick. For example, the table. As you can see, you can either change the legs here with this texture, and it looks a bit weird because that's just the leg texture. I mean, doesn't have to look fancy, but that's our table now. And if we're gonna load our save now and just navigate to the table we've just changed. There it is. Okay, so we can just place our table now. This is a half slab. That's the top and that's the side. So yeah, keep that in mind when manipulating any of those textures. I don't need it, so I'll delete it. That's a good sentence that you can remember. So the next folder is the armor folder, which is really interesting because, actually, I will show it later why it's important. But here you can change the armor pieces that the character is wearing. In the arts folder, you can basically just change the pre-existing images and use the item frames in-game to display those. Environment folder. There you can change the clouds, the rain and the snow particles. The GUI folder is really important as well, because as you can see, there are quite a lot of things that you might want to edit. For example, if we open up our inventory, you can see you can change that as well. And probably the most important one, also you don't need the trap PNG. Yeah, there's also part, I'm not sure, I don't think you need the particles to be inside here. Yeah, so the most important one, the icons in general, the inventory, and the items.png. And that's obviously the chest. So for example, if you place a chest, not locked chest, but normal chest, where is it? There it is. The locked chest doesn't work. Okay, and then you can see that's the small container. And then there we have the large container. So that's basically one texture that just, yeah, adjusts itself based on the size, basically. Okay. So let's open up the items now and change something there. So I will change two things just to show you. Let's first make the golden pickaxe maybe red. And the other texture I want to change to show you something. Or let's change two. Let's make this also red. And the last thing is the sign. Let's just make those red. Why not? Okay, and then hit save. So we've changed 3 textures now. And we go in-game, we need to save and quit, then load in again in order for these changes to apply. You can also change the names. I will go over that as well. As you can see, our pickaxe perfectly works now. We have a red sign, but what happens now if we place it, you can see just a default sign. And same goes for the golden leggings. We put it on, and then you can see it's getting gold. So, if you want to change the appearance of the models, then the armor folder gets relevant. So we've just changed the gold leggings, I think. Let's just make it red. Why not? That's a little bit different. The textures work like with faces. If you've created a Minecraft skin before, you might know this. The sign is in the, I think, no, it's in the item folder. We changed the sign as well. And we can close it, go back in, and then you can see, okay, our sign worked, and yeah. Okay, I forgot the top part, so gold 2 was basically, yeah, I think the bottom right texture which we left gold was also supposed to be red. Doesn't really matter, but you get the point. So if you want to change that as well, now you know how to do so. Next folder, yeah, it's the item folder which I just showed you. There you can change the arrows and basically every model that's placed in vanilla Minecraft or AdventureCraft. There you can change it here, the appearance as well as the doors. The miscellaneous is basically, I'm actually not sure what that is for, the diamonds. So let's just delete that. The dial is like the item display. So the fan is the fan textures. Foliage color is alongside with grass color is, I think, the 3D grass thing. Like, I'm not sure if you can really see that, but these things, I think, are the foliage or grass color. You can change the map and the map icons. You can change the pumpkin blur and the shadow. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, that's the shadow or vignette. And for the water and watercolor, there's actually a better way to do it, to change that I will also show in this video. So let's just skip that for now. Yeah, and there you can change also the mob models, the power glove that's looking or that's placed on your hand, the saddle, the sheep furs, silverfishes. Actually not in the game, so I'm not sure why it's in there. Maybe a leftover from the vanilla jar. Yeah, so we have all of those here, and the sound. Yeah, those are also important. Because the subfolders doesn't work. So if you want to use the vanilla sounds in some way, for example the dry fire sound, or let's just take the shotgun sound fire and pumps. Then we need to place it in the sound folder, not in any subfolder. So for example, let's just delete these because I don't need any vanilla sound. And if I now open up the map, you can see sound, fire and pump. And then yeah, you can just basically play it. Okay, the next folder we have is the terrain folder, where you can just change sun and moon. And then the title, where you can just change the title. But you don't probably want to change that, so you can delete those as well. So basically delete any unnecessary folder. We won't change the font in our map, so we can delete that as well. Just use the default one. So in order to put anything inside here, the overlay and the NPC skin, we need to create some folders. So right click, go on new and folder, name this one music. Next folder, name this one NPC. Next folder, name this one overlays. Now, for music and for sounds, it should be always the OGG.format. So you can basically grab an MP3 file and find a converter to convert it. So yeah, let's just grab a music. And yeah, overlays basically, as we already discussed previously, you can just put it in front of your screen, so be it UI element or something like that, or just like a static image. I have a overlay file prepared, NPC skin. With the NPC folder, let's just put in our NPC, or my NPC in this case. It should be like a normal Minecraft skin for 1.7.3. Doesn't support the double layers, just the head texture. So yeah, I can show you what I mean. So basically you have this space also reserved for a head. If you want to give him some 3D elements basically. We're just gonna use that for our tutorial now. And now you can, when I activate the debug mode, select the GeoBlack skin here. When we open up the effect, you can just select the test now. You need to select test and then change overlay. So yeah. Then you can trigger it, and as you can see, because we just added like a slight tint, you can still see through, but it looks like, you're wearing some kind of blue glasses. I don't know if you can do anything cool with it, but yeah, there you have it. Let's change it back. Okay, and the music is just the main theme, so we can just, play music now. For the next thing, you want to change the water texture. That's a bit more complicated, but we have a water texture that we can use. So let's just grab our default water.png. We paste it in the main folder, the main map folder. We rename that to custom _ water, and then we have two things, the still, and if we want to copy that, the flowing. That's now our water textures that will actually be applied in AdventureCraft. So we're gonna open that up, and this is a special texture because we can just expand it. In Sprite you can do that by going to the canvas size. The animations in AdventureCraft are working like from top to bottom. So because our height and width is 16 by 16, the next height level would be 32, then 48, and then 64, sorry. So let's just do that, expand it. So we have basically now 4 frames for our water animation. We need to put our starting frame top here and then go down. And there we have it. That's now our still water, and we can label it like one very ugly, I know, but it will work for our case. So now if we load up our map and place some water, then you can see it's now displaying. But now, because it's flowing, it will then use this animation, the flowing animation. The same you can do with lava. Now you know how to animate water and lava. Okay, but what if you want to animate any block texture or any item texture? For that, we will need a new folder. Those water and lava textures are an exception. Just create a folder, let's name it animation or animated. It doesn't really matter how you name it, but an animation or animated should work out. And also create a new text document that name matters again, so it should be called animations.txt. AdventureCraft will now look in this animations.txt file for every animation and then applies it to your map. Our folder is obviously empty. And let's say I've prepared something, so let me just copy it over, which is the pumpkin block that's just blinking, basically, closing the eyes. Also from bottom to top again. You can make it as long as you want, I think. So what do you fill in this animations.txt? We have pumpkinblick.png in our animated file, so first we need to specify a name. We can just, I don't know, come up with the pumpkin, I can write pumpkin, comma. Then we need to specify the path for the original texture. In our case, it's located in terrain.png because we've chosen the pumpkin block. That would be /terrain.png. For example, if you want to animate the items.png, you see it's in the subfolder GUI. So what you would do is /GUI/items.png. That would animate the items in this file. Okay? So in our case, terrain.png was correct. Next, we need to specify the folder of the animation or the animation file. So in our case, we've named our folder animated. And our file is named pumpkinblink.png. Alright, so far so good. Name of the animation, file where the original texture is in, and our animation file. Now you want to do a comma. And then let's just take a look at our terrain in Sprite again. Will make sense in a second. This texture is 256 by 256 and is like 16 by 16, right? For every block. So you can see on the bottom left, there's a file pointer basically pointing at the location of my current pixel. So when addressing the position of the animation, we need to go in the top left corner. You see the first block is at 0, 0. The next block is at 16, 0. The next block is at 32, 0, and so on. And then we want to go down, and there you can see 0, 16, 0, 32, basically X and Y coordinates, okay? So either count everything until the block or have a program that does it for you. So we select our block and go in the top left corner. And as you can see, it's 112, 112. So our X and Y position of this texture is this. And now, last but not least, we need to specify the size. So as I just said, 16 by 16 is the size, as you can see. That's one block. So we also choose 16 by 16. And that's it. You can save it. And if you want to create a new animation, just put it in the next line and so on. It's a bit fast. So if you want to make it slower, just create more frames. But yeah, that's basically texture animation for you. So I forgot two things. You also want the lang folder right here. So that's basically the place where you change your item name. So for example, here the item boomerang, let's call it test. Okay, we save it. And now go to the boomerang item. Then you can see it's now called a boo test. Also, what I forgot, there's one thing that you can still do. For that, you need to navigate here to the Minecraft folder and then open up the resources folder. And there you can see the sound 3, sound and new sound alongside the music and other folders which you might need. So what you want to do is just copy those 3 over, just sounds for now. Then we want to create a new folder here, which is called sound overrides. Paste those folders in. And there you have every sound that is available in AdventureCraft. And for example, new sound. And I think it was random. And there we have the heard sound.ogg. And then we can just replace it. So let me just replace it with the Mario jump sound. We paste it here and then delete the heard one. Rename it to heard. And now, when you open up the tutorial map, and then we actually get heard. So let me just get some height, and then, as you can see, there's the Mario jump sound when you get heard. So you can basically replace every sound there is in the AC engine. And yeah, that's about it. You think, something's still missing. I don't know how to make any custom entity or mob. I don't know how to make any custom item. And you still didn't have talked about any scripting. Yeah, that's correct, because I think those 3 require an own video. So the next one is probably going to be the scripting basics tutorial, where I just explain the structure, what does what, and some helpful resources. Yeah, and if you would require a more in-depth scripting tutorial where I will go over the stuff that you can actually do, like complicated stuff, let me know. Then I will create more scripting videos. But I think for the start, I'll go with just one basic scripting video. Until next time, bye!